Welcome back to another video, guys, and today we're having a look at what are my plans for the future, what I'm looking at in terms of career progression, what I'm looking at in terms of being a teacher, and kind of how that differs from when I first started teaching and probably when I first talked about it on YouTube as well, because I think my ideas about career progression have changed a lot compared to when I first started, and I'd like to know if that's the same as you guys, if that's different. So if you could, at the start of this video, before you've heard anything I want to say, then just drop a comment down below and just tell me what kind of year in teaching you are and what your goals are as a teacher. So it might be, you might be in your first year and you want to become a head teacher. You might be in your fifth year and want to be an assistant head. You might be in your 10th year and are looking to become an executive head teacher. What are your goals or what are your aims in your career? How is it looking for you? Because I think it's something that does change, and by saying this now, it doesn't mean this is going to be set in any kind of way, because I'm sure that in 2-3 years time my career will look very different to what it is now. I'm sure the way I envisage my career will be very different, as it has been different now compared to 3 or 4 years ago when I first started. So a bit of background about me, if you don't know me, then I'm obviously Mr. W. I'm a primary school teacher. I'm in my 4th year and I currently teach year 5 in a school in South Yorkshire, and I absolutely love my job. I love my career. I think I'm so lucky to have gone straight into a career that I found that I thought, you know what, this is something that I really want to do, and it is as good as I thought it would be when I first started. So I'm very, very lucky in that sense that I found the career I wanted to from the start. I didn't kind of dot around different jobs. I had a few different jobs as I was getting to this point, obviously going through uni, building up to uni, earning a bit of money, but they were never jobs in terms of having a career. They were just quick part-time jobs that I could do while I was obviously at uni, earning a bit of money to help me along the way. But this is my first kind of real career, and I'm very lucky, and hopefully it will be my last real career. I think this is something I want to do for the rest of my life. It's something I want to do for the rest of my working life anyway, and I want to just keep on going being a teacher because I do really enjoy it. And that's why I make these videos too, because I want to share what it's really like being a teacher. I think there's a lot about teaching that isn't necessarily talked about a lot online, not talked about a lot in the wider world outside of teaching, and that's why sometimes teachers do get misunderstood in the media and on social media, that kind of thing, because they're not always as open as they could be about what it's like being a teacher. It's not necessarily the teacher's fault. There's a lot of stuff that you can't talk about, but there is a lot of stuff that then gets missed, and actually being a teacher is a pretty great job, so I want to talk a bit more about it. So when I first started teaching and when I was training, my idea was always that I was going to teach in a private school. When I first started, I was like, yeah, I'm going to go teach in a private school. That's what I want to do. Once I finish my training, I'll be in a private school. And actually, I never even applied to any private school, and I went in straight into the state schools. That's because my placements, I did 1 in a private school, I did 2 in state schools, and I realized actually there wasn't that much difference in terms of what it's like being a teacher in them. There is obviously a lot of difference in facilities, that kind of thing. In most private schools, they are a great deal better, but it's not something that actually appealed to me teaching one of them for various different reasons. And it's something that over the last few years has confirmed that I made the right decision for me. I enjoy working in state schools, and again, I want to continue working in the school where I'm at now, because since I started at the school, I've now been there for 4 years. I've not moved, and I don't plan on ever really moving. I think I've again got very, very lucky to work in a very, very supportive team with a very supportive academy trust above us, and we have our voices heard. We can make changes if we want to make changes to stuff. We're not just sat there being told what to do, and I think it's pretty much ideal. I've never once spoken to anyone that works in a different school and thought, oh, that's kind of better than where I work, it sounds better. And that's not to say other schools aren't as good, but it does mean that obviously I'm very happy where I am, and so again, I'm very, very lucky. But apart from obviously wanting to work in a private school when I started, and that straight away has changed, I also wanted to become a head teacher, and I straight away had all these goals of saying, yeah, I want to be a classroom teacher, I'm going to work my way up the ladder, get up to the top, and then become a head teacher. And that's something that still kind of is in the back of my mind. I think one day, you know what, I might end up being a head teacher. It might happen. However, it's not something that is really driving me forward at the minute. I am very, very passionate about being a teacher. I enjoy teaching. I enjoy being in class. And I think so often nowadays you see with being a head teacher, the pressures of the job are so intense that actually there is no time to be in the classroom. There's very little time to be outside the office. When you do see a head walking around, they're often on the way to do something and then got to get back and get on with something else. There's so many different things they have to do, and it's so busy, and I only know a tiny portion of what they do. I'm not part of the senior leadership team. I don't sit and have meetings with the head very often about what it is they're doing. Obviously, I'm very lucky in the sense that they've opened door and I can go and ask for questions whenever I want to, but it's not something where I really know a lot about what they do. But the small bits I do know just seem like it is such an intense job. Now, that's not something I think I'm ready for yet. It's not something I'm not sure I'll ever be ready for, but I know right now I'm just focused on being a good teacher, getting through, making sure the children are learning well, they're enjoying themselves, they're happy, and that is enough for me. That's where I'm at right now. I think for me, that's why I came into the job. I wanted to become a teacher, to work with the children, to help them to build those foundations that they can then use and move on want to in later life. The more I see about being a head teacher, the more I see that actually you kind of lose some of that and you end up being in an office more, which I never wanted an office job. It's why I became a teacher. I didn't want to sit and work in an office. You also end up doing a lot more paperwork, which the paperwork and the side of teaching that I do struggle with, and I have to kind of fight my way through to get through all the paperwork. And it's not something that I particularly enjoy those bits. I much enjoy, you know, the 9 o'clock till 3 o'clock, being in the classroom, moving around, doing that stuff. And so again, lots more of that, a lot less of the bit I enjoy. This might be something that changes over time. This does not mean that I'm never ever going to become a head teacher. So if in 3, 4, 5, 10, however many years it is, and I end up saying, oh, I've actually become a head teacher, and you know, you bring this video and say, oh, but you said you weren't going to. Well, actually, you know what, this might change. But right now, I think I just wanted to show where I'm at, show what my career is. For you guys that are moving into teaching and thinking about 3 or 4 years down the line, where do you think you'll be? Well, I'm currently a subject leader of 2 subjects. I'm a confident teacher in the classroom. I know what I need to do to get lessons across to the children. There's still lessons where you get to the end of the lesson and think, oh my word, what happened there? What went on? But they're rare. They don't always go wrong. And when it does happen, you kind of, you know how to fix them and come at it from a different angle and sort it out. And that's just part of teaching. It happens in, I'm sure it happens in every job. In every job, people have days where they come out of the day and they're like, what went on? What happened? I need to fix all that stuff. Yeah, it happens in teaching too, but that's all right. But yeah, this is kind of me almost 4 years down the line, thinking back, thinking, was it worth it? I know I talked about that a while ago in a video. Yes, 100% it was. Am I looking forward to the next 4 years of teaching? Yes, I 100% am. I'm looking forward to staying in the same school, working with the same teachers around me, working in part of a really good and supportive team, and keeping building the children that are in our school to be the best they can be. That is why I became a teacher. That's what I'm looking forward to doing in the future. And whether or not that leads to any kind of career progression for me or leads to a different venture, there's always something else in my mind that I'd love to, you know, have my own business, do my own kind of thing. But the thing that's always held me back is I don't really know what I'd want to do as part of that business. I enjoy being in a classroom teaching. I enjoy working with a bit of technology, but I'm not techie enough to go into all the coding bits of it. So I think I'm just looking forward to being in the classroom, being a teacher and seeing where that takes me. And for me, that's enough. That's happy. That gets me through. That means I get to go home at the end of the day and enjoy time with my family. It means I get to enjoy the holidays as well, which teaching is very good in the sense you get a lot of holiday, which is nice. I do need to sit and do some work in this holiday. I'm filming this over half term and I do need to sit and do a bit of work to get myself ready to be back at school, but that's okay because I've had a week where I've not done anything and I've got a couple of days now. I'll do a couple of hours a day, get some bits done and see where I can go from there. So there you go. It was a bit of a ramble today, a bit of a kind of here and there, but I just thought, you know what, when I was training to be a teacher, I wanted to know what it would be like in a few years. I wanted to know how long it would take to get confident being a teacher. I wanted to know how long it would be before I felt like I was ready to move on. And I think I'm trying to answer my own questions in the hope that other people might be asking the same questions in their position today. And the fact is I'm not ready to move on. I'm ready to be a teacher and I'm happy being a teacher and I want to keep on being a teacher. So if you are thinking about, are you going to get bored? Well, hopefully you won't. Obviously you're not the same as me, but if you're lucky enough to be in the same position as me in a few years, then good for you guys because it is all worth it. And yeah, I'm ready to just continue doing what I'm doing at the minute and hopefully keep on making some difference to some children's lives in the classroom. So thank you very much for watching this. As always, thank you for all the support that you've given to the channel. It's very much appreciated. And hopefully if you've got any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments down below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. There's a new video on a Tuesday, a Friday and a Sunday, and I will see you all very soon.